Hello, Kathy. How you doing? So, a song came to me right when I was about to do your reading. Was Blue by Patsy, Cline. So, I kind of looked at the lyrics, see what it's got, and a couple of words popped out to me. 3 o'clock in the morning, here am I, sitting here so lonely, so lonesome I could cry. Now that it's over, I realize those weak words you whispered were nothing but lies. And then as I was shuffling these, taken but still looking, I feel like whoever you're dealing with, or maybe it could be you, I think it's someone you're dealing with, is right now missing you in a unfulfilled or unfulfilling relationship. But when people are in a place where they are not happy, and people tend to think that whatever they don't have or are the things that very well could make them happy until, until they go to that place and realize that they're still unhappy. And, it's like, it's not only about the grass is greener, it's about feeling okay where you are, and being in love with the fantasy more than the reality. That's usually an indication of a little bit of, not being happy with themselves or within themselves. Like feeling this internal void that's going to be always unfulfilled, and thinking that it's an outside source that's going to fulfill them, right? And maybe that could be even a little bit of self-sabotage as well. That constant void or constant longing for something that's outside of yourself could potentially be the thing that could make you happy. And it keeps, this is all upright. It kind of keeps like, it keeps you from focusing on yourself and your own world and your own environment to try to make where you are happy. And because it all starts from within, as above, so below, as within, so without. And maybe that's something that you've been kind of feeling, like a bit of a void and a bit of thinking about outside entities or people or things that you think that could potentially fulfill you, but then you look back and you find out that it wasn't all that great to begin with. It wasn't all that fulfilling while you were in it, but it's something to kind of look back on, as in like, that was the thing that could make you happy. Let's see. Now, you or somebody you're dealing with feels stuck in a mental prison, stuck in fears and anxieties and, preconceived notions, having trouble sleeping, maybe even headaches, aches and pains in the neck and in the shoulders, possibly even nightmares. Feeling stuck from moving, and the feeling of being stuck is kind of like holding you back from what you really want, or holding someone back from what they really want. I feel maybe if this is you, or maybe somebody else, and maybe you were in a headspace now, but I feel like that's slowly lifting. And it's like once that feeling of feeling stuck and lifting, I feel like maybe somebody else is feeling it now too. The foundation is the star. Could be an Aquarius, it could be a wish, following your North Node, healing. This is your physical and emotional needs, plus your subconscious desire, the causes of your situation. You want healing. You want to follow your North Node. You want to wish, but something's holding you back. Maybe it's like a feeling of not good enough, or self-sabotage, or feeling restricted by your every day-to-day thing, or, people's thoughts about you, or, but where did those thoughts that you kind of feel, those thoughts in your head that kind of keeps you stuck, where did they come from? Where was the root of it? It's like this inner critic in your head that you've gotten from possibly, people that, caregivers, bosses. When it comes to Saturn, it tends to be really restrictive in the places that we dwell and wherever Saturn sits. If it's your parents, if it's like your moon, then it's your mother. If it's on Saturn and Capricorn, if that's under Venus and your moon, then it's your love life and, your sun. If Saturn sits in your sun, then it's your father, your own self-image. In the past, I feel like you kind of lost hope. Three of Wands is this waiting feeling, but then in the upright, it's like, oh, I'm going to lose hope. There's nothing that's better, and it's like a feeling of being just depressed. Maybe because there was like some kind of loss or some kind of breakup, but and you may currently feel kind of stuck in your situation, but even if you feel stuck in your situation, you always found a way to be resilient and work it out, because when it comes to Capricorn, we're used to restrictions, Four of Wands is your goals. Four of Wands in reverse. Instability. You feel like you want to get out of a certain foundation that was built, that you feel stuck in it, that you can't move, or kind of this, maybe even stuck in your own head, and you're trying to find a way to break through that, maybe break out of old ideas of what people think of you, or they thought of you, or, and that's really an inner critic from upbringing, from all the people who had these preconceived notions. And I feel like these people around did have these preconceived notions around you, and this feeling of being eternally rejected by them and a lack of support by them, like maybe it affected you a lot more than you thought. And maybe it is affecting you a lot more than you thought. Like maybe I am the way that people see me, but I want you to know that you're not. I feel like somebody's putting a lot of thoughts in your head. They're putting like their projections on you, and that's tendency when it comes to Saturn and Capricorn. They project a lot of their own bad faults on you. Their bad traits on you. So it's like, yeah, they'll always keep you at arm's length, but when they need someone to dump their emotional shit on you, then it's like, oh, you're the person that they're gonna call. And maybe that's the thing. It's like you kind of go in your head like over and over, like, why is it always the same outcome or situation? And it's like maybe because I'm starting to adopt a certain idea or certain preconceived notions that the other people around me have. But in the end, it's like, who the fuck, who cares? You know, who cares what they think? Like, they don't know you, they don't know us. You know, you shouldn't adopt those kind of, I don't want to say you shouldn't or you should do anything, because in the end, I could only just say what I see, is that maybe that's the thing that's holding you back. Maybe that's the thing that's taken away your stability. And I see a lot of self-sabotage. It's either you or somebody that you're dealing with. Maybe if it's somebody that you're dealing with, they feel stuck in a situation and they want to get out of it. And maybe they want to offer you something. And it's like somebody came, it's like doing a head fuck to you, and it's like bouncing away. You know, it's like they come in, they screw with your head, they mess with your self-confidence, they project a lot of bad shit on you, they kind of unfairly judge you, and then they leave because it's like they have to push that devil that's within them that they don't want to see. And then it's like you're stuck in your own head in a mental prison. But it's really because they're stuck. They feel like they're stuck. And that's usually what over-judgmental people are, you know? And they do is that they feel stuck within their life. So it's like, it's a distraction in order to not work on any of their own shit. Because, you know, if everyone looks at a situation and says, oh, I'm never the issue, with every situation that they're at, they're usually always the issue. I feel like somebody's like pulling on your energy, and it's like because they feel stuck in an issue that they're in. And maybe it's like this negativity that they're projecting on you, you're kind of just accepting, like you're starting to soak that up psychically, and it's starting to hold you back. But it's like, okay, well, I'm going to pull myself out of this mental energy. I'm going to pull myself out of this negative thinking. And I'm going to slowly start working on something again, because I'm not going to start letting this, you know, people's nasty projections, so then they could just dump out all their poison on me to stop me from what I'm doing. It may have held me back for a little while. It may have shook my confidence for a little while. But I don't see you're going to do that for long, because I see yourself moving ahead. Because here it's like you're starting to finally get control over your emotions. You're starting to finally, you know, see yourself as how you really are, and not how people's idea and their nasty projections that they have on you. So they don't want to see the darkness within themselves. And I see you kind of getting in more control of that. It's like, you know what? I'm going to be more balanced. I'm not going to allow what people's ideas of what they expect from me or who I am in order to like push out their demon or their dark side on me and leave me in some kind of lack. And maybe this person is wanting to leave you in some kind of lack, because it's like some kind of competition that they have with you. Because here they are, 7 of Swords, someone sneaky, kind of somebody that comes in and does a head fuck and leaves. Hopping out to something better. And you're like, no, you know what? I may have had my confidence shooken for a little bit, but that ain't me, right? That ain't you. You're the goat. You're in control over your emotions. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, now that you're under control over your emotions, you kind of took your power back and you brought justice back into yourself. And where are they? Your hopes and fears is to just be done with it. Let go of all of the things that's holding you back, all of the ideas of what people think of you. And maybe you've been trying to work on something like a project, a business, but then your self-confidence got shook. But then where was your state of mind before you dealt with this person? Was it good? And after you started dealing with this person, did your state of mind suddenly get screwed up? And did you start second guessing yourself? Because you know what? You tend to soak up that psychic energy that because they were projecting this shit on you. And you're like, no, I'm going to start to get more in control over my emotions. And I'm just going to put an end to this because you know what? Why would I let a temporary energy come in and screw with me like that? When all they wanted to do is project their demons on me and then walk away back to whatever they're doing, you know, like an energy vampire. Because it's like, okay, that was the last time. You may have came in and out. You may have just took a little piece of me in order to like feed yourself, feed your ego, make yourself feel better, be extra judgmental. So you could go ahead and feel really good about so they could feel really good about themselves, you know, and feel superior that, you know, they could be like, oh, this Capricorn's like this and Capricorn's like that. Look how much better I'm like a Capricorn. And then you started to actually feel that way, which isn't you. Like, never allow anyone to tell you who you are or just adopt anyone's idea of you, because like really what they think of you is really just how they really feel about themselves. And maybe it's a bit of like competition or jealousy. Like you're dealing with kind of a person who's just like, they only feel better when they're putting someone else down. They only feel better when they're doing better than anyone else. And if they're not doing better than somebody else, then it's like, okay, then they have to come and they have to shake your confidence and throw you off balance in order to kind of keep that upper hand. And it's like, nah, you know what? Then I'm going to have to cut you out. Somebody's going through some kind of justice. And maybe you're bringing justice back into yourself by like realizing this, getting in control over your emotions. And it's like this person doesn't even have to do anything outright, like an outward betrayal, but it's just like this feeling of being constantly rejected and judged. And maybe they're not even saying it, but then you know that they're thinking it because like you feel their energy whenever they come around you, or whenever you allow them into your space, or whenever they're trying to encroach on your energy. Like you feel this like judgment. You know, but really that has more to do with themselves, because you're bringing yourself justice by taking off of this old preconceived foundations and notions of what people's idea of who you are. It's like, okay, you know what? This was a steady foundation that kind of I had when I was growing up of all people's nasty projections on me that kind of held me back in my life. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this crappy house down. This is jealousy. You know, this is an unhappy home. This is instability. And it's like when your emotions get affected, your stability gets affected. This could be somebody at a distance. But I see like a divorce, or I see a breakup here, or somebody is in a relationship. And maybe this is somebody that you were dealing with, and maybe you didn't know this. Maybe this person lied about it. You know? And it's like they kind of took what they want. They took some of your energy and left. and then just left you in a mental prison. It's like this person is super selfish. They just take what they want and then they leave. You know, they come and spin a bunch of lies. And it's like, this is that awakening and this is that awareness. Like, oh my God, they left me in a mental prison, like second guessing myself, like took a hit of your self-confidence. And then it's like, now it's like that fog is clearing, you know? Now that it's over, I realize those weak words you whispered were nothing but lies. And they don't even have to outwardly say those judgments. They do that by the way they kind of dismiss you. They do that by the way that they don't value you. You know, they don't even have to say those words. And it's like, I don't need that shit, you know? Like, I don't need that kind of energy around me, to have somebody around just being judgmental all the time because they don't want to see their own darkness, you know? Maybe this has been an off and on kind of thing, and this person is just, but that's why they do it. They're like chronically empty. So then they have to push that darkness onto somebody else. I feel like they're going through an ending. And maybe they're getting dropped by their partner, and maybe you're cutting this person out as well. Maybe they could even be going through some kind of justice. Like maybe even legal issues and a divorce that they have to go through. And there's like, I think this is the last time that they're going to put you into this mental prison, or at least I hope so. Because it's like all those judgmental thoughts that they have about you was really how they thought about themselves. Because, you know, it's, and really how we feel about other people, it says more about us than the people around us. You know, like just being eternally judgmental and pessimistic. And everybody's like, when you have a bunch of negative people who just feel chronically empty and not good enough, they're going to look at other people in the same kind of perspective and views. Like, oh, this person is crazy, or they're not shit, or, you know, they don't know what they're talking about, you know, because really deep down, it's their own security that they're showing. And they're projecting on you. And I feel like they could be doing that with a lot of other people they're around. And that's why that's that ending. That's why they jump in and out of many different places. That's why they hide shit. And they have to seek out a lot of extra supply. Because look at this Chariot. Taken but still looking. But whatever foundation that they had, it's done. Now, I want to talk to you and get to know you. Now they want to come back in and talk to you. But why? Why did they want to come back in and talk to you, though? Psychic medium and tarot reader. You could be a psychic medium or tarot reader, or a spiritualist, or somebody who does divinations, or just someone who's extremely intuitive. They want to come back in and talk to you after their ending. It's like, because their world is falling apart. Like this mental prison that they left you in, now they're starting to feel, now that shit is starting to happen around them. Greater Middle East, Arab, or African descent. Now they could be a maybe they're from that region, or that region kind of like has some kind of significance from you, you know, or for them, or who they were dealing with, Or maybe this was like a past life that you had, or maybe this is this energy that's around them. They have a darkness in them, like a void and emptiness. Everything is everybody else's fault. And that's why they could just be so judgmental, because they never have to look within. Shapeshifter or skinwalker. This is someone who's extremely kind of like, what's the word? Two-faced. They project one image, but on the internal, it has a way different thought, you know? Like, they could seem all like a nice person, but within, they're thinking nasty thoughts of you when you're talking about them. And maybe that's why you feel it. And maybe after they leave, that's why you kind of feel like shitty about yourself. It's like, you know, and even if they don't have to say it, it's just like you feel that energy. And it's like, wow, why do I just feel like crap after I hang out with this person? You know? It's medical, not spiritual. Mental illness and depression. Because this person has a void within them. And that's why they don't have a stable sense of self. It's like an internal void that they have. It's like that's why they have to project, because they're going through some kind of depression. And that's why their view on everybody that's around them is so negative. And that's why you kind of feel that. And you start second guessing yourself and your own self-confidence. Karmic justice and justice. They're going through karma right now. All of this nastiness that they've been projecting on you, and I'm not saying it has to be spell work, but they were just projecting all this nasty stuff on you. And on the outside, they could seem like really nice people, but when they leave, you kind of feel like shit about yourself. It's like, look, false alarm, addiction to negative thinking and false beliefs. Because it's like they put that negativity that they're thinking about you, and you soak that up psychically. And that's why you start feeling shitty about yourself, because internally you're picking that up on how they're really feeling about you. And that's why they never say anything that's really like supportive or nice or anything like that, because they have nothing supportive or nice about anyone around them. That's why they're going through these energies. That's why they always have to find somebody else that they have to be like, oh, the person I'm with they ain't shit, so I have to go somewhere else because this person's better, until they're there. And then they have that same view because it's their distorted perspective that they're putting on everybody else. Death and endings. So you're putting an end to their projections of you, their false beliefs, their negative thinking, and perhaps you were thinking really down on yourself for a little while and you didn't even know where it's coming from. But that's coming to an end. You're getting your confidence back. You're seeing that a lot of that shit was lies. You know, this person has a lot of intuitive abilities as well. And maybe you felt and maybe you do. Maybe it's you that has more intuitive abilities, and that's why you're soaking up their psychic energy around them. And that's why when they were leaving, they kind of left a stain on you. And it took you a while to have to realize that it wasn't yours. Overly judgmental and false accusations. DOD and military. Holy crap, this is all just kind of... Oh my goodness. They could be in the military or had like service within their kind of like, you know, they could have been in the military, or maybe you guys met in that capacity. But they're going through some karma. And you're standing in your strength after this ending. And you're starting to see, like, you are badass, Cappy. Like, you are the GOAT. Who the hell is this person? If they were so awesome, if they were so cool, like, why did they have to make everyone feel like shit around them? Because they know, like, they're eternally empty inside. And it's like, because that's how they really feel about themselves. An awakening. Look at that on the bottom of the deck. This person helped you learn, though. Maybe they even put you in a bit of a dark night of the soul. They really had to make you really kind of introspect. Because maybe they really did take a shot of your self-confidence, you know? You're coming out of the mental prison. Advice. Healer of the ages. Because they're unhealed. They left you unhealed. They left you tied up. This is somebody who love bombs, discards, and, you know, and then leaves you tied up in your head. These are all upright. And, you know, this is not you. This was their projection of you. And you were feeling that. And it was like somebody who just... It's like their energy has like a sulfur smell to it. And if they come into the room, it'll stink up the room. And it's like something that you have to open up the windows to kind of like let that nastiness, you know, even if they could be smelling good, they leave this kind of like heavy air around wherever they dwell. And now it's starting to kind of clear. Look, intuition, 6th chakra, rest and rejuvenation, deceit. Now the 6th chakra is the third eye. You're starting, this is your intuition. Foresight, driven by openness and imagination. When it's imbalanced, it lacks direction and lacks clarity. And I think after this person, you were dealing with this person, or even within their energy, you started talking to them again for a while. And then it's like you started to feel this confusion, this lack mentality, this lack of direction, a lack of clarity in who you are, because this is how they're really feeling. And it's like it seems unnatural that you were feeling this feelings all of a sudden, when just kind of out of the blue, right before you started talking to them, and you started talking to them again. And it's like when they left and you're like, holy crap, like where was this coming from? It was them. It's a need to put a rest into this deceit. It's like you took a rest after this. It's like, okay, I have to look within. I have to see what's really going on. And it took you a while to figure this out. And maybe you introspected a little, because it's like now that it's over, I realized those weak words you whispered were nothing but lies. It's somebody who just never admits the truth. They never admit it. Even if they got caught in the middle of an act, they'd be like, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it was them. It was them. One more card for advice. Oh, look at that. Contract in reverse. Soul contracts are coming for an end to them. It is. Maybe they try to put some kind of tie on you, like a, you know, and it's like, but it's like whatever contract that they have, a soul contract, it's done, you know, because it was like they were so deceitful. And it's like, you know, maybe spirit wanted you to be with this person. Maybe you were meant to heal this person. Or it was like, you know, maybe this person, like you were meant to heal each other. But it's like now you know. Even spirit's telling you, like, put this to rest. All of these lies, you know, with this ending of a contract, it's not victorious, and there's no love here. The love is gone. Because why would you want somebody around who just makes you feel like shit? Community on the end. There could be even people around you. You know? Community. This third party situation. Or just community around you, like friends that fake friends. Like this person is an energy vampire. And spirit, you know, I would suggest just listen to yourself and how you feel. And if you feel shittier around this person, then that's just all the answer that you need. If it takes you a while to recover around this person, that's all the answer that you need. And I feel like the fog is clearing. And now you're starting to realize that's them. It's weird. It's like, even if you were like doing, it's like every time this person shows up, like right before they show up, you start having the worst luck in the world, and then this person shows up. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like this person could smell it, or they're kind of like leveling your foundation before they come in. Like this person does have a lot of psychic like power, but it's not used in the good way. And in the end, every time they try to manipulate, they could come off all sweet and nice and like, you know, or, you know, like just kind of just really dismissive. They never say anything because on the inside, you're feeling it. All of that nastiness that they think about you. And I feel like the people who'd have kind of projected their kind of darkness on you, now they're starting to see, maybe they're starting to see it was more them than it was you. Or at least we could hope that. But we don't really have to worry about what they're doing. We just want to get this nasty energy from out of you, around your space, so you could kind of move on. But that's what I got for you, Cappy. I'll talk to you later and love you lots. Bye.